great idea. I didn't even think about it.
We were talking about, speaking of free agency.
Yes.
There's odds for everything, and the odds are favoring the Broncos as the lead team to sign T. Higgins.
Interesting.
Is that a move you'd like to see them make? And adding to that, would that mean T. Higgins at the expense of Courtland Sutton, or do you keep both of them? And pay both of them.
I would like to keep Courtland Sutton. So I would like to keep Courtland. Depending upon how they feel about their receivers. And, Vele, Sean Payton has talked about Vele and how good he has been and how excited about he is, for the future of him. Mims has done some nice things. Lacks a little bit of consistency. I just don't know if that's where they want to spend their money, Mike.
Well, we got money to spend. Not as much as some teams, but we're about to be getting out of cap hell. Right? We got one more year, 30-something million bucks. But then after that, we have the added benefit of Bo Nix's rookie deal for a couple more years. So you can structure deals very, very easily and kick it down the road. And so I'm not, I've kind of gone back and forth with this. Mike, you made a good argument for doing a deal with T. Higgins and trading Courtland Sutton. T. Higgins is younger, right? Courtland is going to be 30 this year. So do you try to you're going to have to give him a new deal. We got to remember that too. So we got to pay him, not what you're going to pay T. Higgins. But now all of a sudden you go out there, you get the best wide receiver on the market, and he's younger. And so you can kind of check that box for hopefully the next 5, 6, 7 years. And then you continue to develop the other guys. You trade Courtland, you kind of move on from that, and then it kind of frees you up in the draft a little bit more where you're not really worrying about going out and drafting a wide receiver for the next couple of years early in the draft.
Stoke, let me ask you this. Any concern at all if you did that? You got rid of Courtland, you made T. Higgins your guy. Any concern at all about leaving that number 2 spot, so to speak, and all of a sudden becoming number 1? Because I've seen that happen a lot to different guys throughout their course of their careers that were great number 2s. They got the chance to be a number 1 and really never amounted to much at that number 1 spot.
Yeah, no, of course there's concern there. You've been playing with Jamar Chase, obviously, and Joe Burrow in that offense. And so, certainly there is. Now, do I think T. Higgins he's not in the conversation as Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. He's not. But I think he is a upper echelon wide receiver. And the Broncos need playmakers. And he's a younger version of Courtland Sutton. So he's a guy that has really good hands. He's a guy that can make the 50-50 catches. So I think he would be. And to me, the tiebreaker here is he's younger than Courtland.
Some other topics, Mark, that we want to get your thoughts on. I did happen to look up a couple times, and you guys were showing, predictably, Laker highlights. I think you were also predictably showing Knicks highlights. I hope you brought to everybody's attention Jamal Murray's 55-point night.
Yeah, we did talk about that, but only for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And, it just is like the Nuggets, like when we talk about the West, I have to remind everybody.
Good for you.
You guys do know that the Nuggets play in the West, right? Because obviously Oklahoma City is like they're crushing. But everybody loves Memphis. Like Memphis seems to be like everybody loves Memphis. And of course you love the Lakers because, even though they can't play a lick of defense, they got Luka. So, everybody loves the Lakers. It's everybody. Oh, everybody loves the Mavericks. You see what Kyrie did yesterday, and when Anthony Davis gets out of the oxygen tent in the ICU that he's living in right now, he's going to be great. So everybody loves it, but it's like they always forget about Jokic and the Lakers.
See, Jokic and the Nuggets. I hope that when you I hope whenever these conversations come up, I hope you just smugly snark-ridden as only you can. In just this very dismissive, I'm so disappointed in you father tone. Just sit back and say to everybody, you guys do realize that the best player on the planet is Nikola Jokic, right?
Yes.
You do
Yeah.
understand that as you're talking about all these other people, that the baddest man on the planet is Jokic, right? And you just say that in that really kind of dry, understated, dismissive, disappointed tone, and just see how they freak out. Just freak out. Just watch them freak out.
They don't give no love. And we were talking about the Lakers and this, that, and the other. I go, you do realize the Nuggets own the Lakers, right?
Good for you.
They just own the Lakers. Like I'm not concerned about the whole Luka. Boy, I tell you what, too, man, that guy's chubby.
270.
No, he's not 270.
He's chubby.
He's not 270. But
Man,
no
if
one,
Calvin Booth had Luka Doncic, can you imagine the things he'd say about him?
wow. Mike has been taking victory laps, and he's already thrown a parade for Jamal Murray.
No, don't put words in my mouth.
He's taking shots at Zach By, which we can all appreciate.
And Josh Dover.
I was going to get there. And Dover, which is great. It's been an entertaining show. Mike is on. He's on one today.
I guess my point, Stink, is that for all the angst about Jamal Murray and how he was playing in October, November, that's my point. It's October, November. And while I know that there are folks out there who you're a professional and you're paid millions of dollars and you should bring it every single game, no matter whether it's game 1 or game 82, it just doesn't always work that way. And some guys, it takes them a while to really engage in the long grind that is the regular season. And the one thing I'll say about Jamal Murray is there are plenty of guys out there in this league who can put up numbers during the regular season who disappear and turn down the big moments in the playoffs. I don't need to worry about that with Jamal. So if you're asking me, am I willing to take the trade-off that he disappears at times during October, November, and it drives people crazy? But he's done enough, he's banked enough with me that I can feel like I can trust him come May and June. I'll take that trade-off 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, well, he wasn't great in May and June last year.
Right, Mike totally.
He wasn't great in May and
forgot
June
about
last
that.
year. Yeah, and he scored 55 last night. That doesn't, the problem is he might take 6 weeks off before he puts up a big scoring game again. That's the concern.
Oh, stinks.
Yeah, no, he's right. And what I don't like, Jamal's I was really locked in last night.
Yeah.
Well, why aren't you locked in every night? That's why
lock
people are
yourself
frustrating,
in.
Mike. That's why they're frustrated with him.
Well, you'd like that to be the case, okay?
Yes.
But if you feel like you can trust him come playoff time, are you telling me that that's a – so let me see if I get this straight. You would take not being able to trust Jamal in the playoffs,
Mike.
but know that he's ready to go game number
Mike,
5 on October
come on.
27th.
Now you sound
Okay?
ridiculous.
Well, I'm not being
you know what we
ridiculous.
would
No,
take.
I'm
now you're
You know what I'd
treating us
like?